The season 20 premiere of The Real Housewives of Orange County wasted no time bringing tension to the screen, and one of the biggest talking points quickly became the interaction between newcomer Carmela Garcia and longtime housewife Vicki Gunvalson. Fans were immediately drawn into the conversation as personalities clashed and expectations collided, creating one of the episode's most discussed moments. As someone entering a cast filled with strong opinions and long-established relationships, Carmela found herself navigating a complicated social dynamic from the very beginning. Rather than immediately embracing the traditions and hierarchy that some of the veteran housewives have come to expect, she made it clear that she intended to be herself. That attitude became especially noticeable during conversations involving Vicki Gunvalson, often referred to by fans as the OG of the OC. Vicki's history with the franchise naturally commands attention whenever she appears, and many cast members acknowledge the role she has played in building the show's legacy. However, Carmela appeared unwilling to automatically give special treatment simply because of that history. One of the premiere's standout exchanges centered around the idea that newcomers should show a certain level of respect toward veterans of the franchise. While some cast members viewed that expectation as completely reasonable, Carmela's reactions suggested she saw things differently. Viewers quickly interpreted her comments as a sign that she planned to stand on equal footing with everyone else, regardless of how long they had been part of the series. That independence immediately sparked discussion among fans online. Some viewers praised Carmela for bringing fresh energy into the cast. They argued that reality television works best when new personalities challenge the existing dynamics rather than simply following established rules. Others, however, believed Vicki deserved greater respect because of her years on the show and the impact she has had on RHOC. The debate spread rapidly across social media after the episode aired. Clips from the premiere circulated widely, with fans analyzing every expression, every comment, and every reaction between the two women. Supporters of Carmela described her as confident, fearless, and unwilling to be intimidated. They appreciated that she seemed comfortable expressing her opinions even in front of one of the franchise's most recognizable personalities. Meanwhile, Vicki's supporters viewed the situation differently. They argued that experience matters and that acknowledging someone who helped build the franchise isn't the same as surrendering your own voice. Regardless of which side viewers supported, nearly everyone agreed on one thing: the tension instantly gave season 20 an exciting start. The premiere also highlighted how quickly misunderstandings can develop within this group. Even relatively small comments can take on much greater meaning once emotions become involved, especially when cameras capture every interaction. As conversations continued throughout the episode, both women remained confident in their own perspectives. Neither appeared eager to completely back down, leaving plenty of room for future disagreements. Other housewives also found themselves reacting to the growing tension. Some attempted to stay neutral, while others quietly expressed opinions about whether Carmela's approach was refreshing or unnecessarily bold. This division among the cast could become one of the season's central storylines. Bravo fans know that first impressions often shape relationships for an entire season. While friendships can certainly grow over time, difficult beginnings frequently lead to lingering conflicts that resurface again and again. That possibility has many viewers wondering whether this disagreement is only the beginning. One reason the interaction attracted so much attention is because Vicki remains one of the most recognizable figures in Housewives history. Even after changes in her role over the years, her presence continues to generate strong reactions from both cast members and longtime fans. Introducing a newcomer willing to challenge expectations naturally creates compelling television. At the same time, Carmela appears determined to establish her own identity instead of simply fitting into existing alliances. For many viewers, that's exactly what makes a new housewife memorable. Whether audiences ultimately agree with her approach or not, she certainly succeeded in making an impression during her first major appearance. Fans are already speculating about where the relationship between Carmela and Vicki could go next. Some hope the two eventually develop mutual respect after getting to know each other better. Others believe the premiere may have set the stage for one of season 20's biggest rivalries. Reality television has repeatedly shown that early disagreements can either evolve into lasting friendships or explode into season-long feuds. At this point, it's simply too early to know which direction this relationship will take. For now, what viewers witnessed was a clear difference in personalities and expectations rather than any final resolution. As additional episodes air, audiences will likely gain more context surrounding both women's perspectives and see whether their relationship improves or becomes increasingly strained. If the premiere is any indication, Season 20 is aiming to deliver the mix of personality clashes, shifting alliances, emotional conversations and unpredictable drama that longtime Real Housewives of Orange County fans have come to expect. One episode alone rarely tells the entire story, but it can establish the emotional tone for everything that follows. In this case, the premiere succeeded in getting fans talking almost immediately. The fallout from that first confrontation didn't simply disappear once the conversation ended. Instead, it seemed to linger over the group, influencing nearly every interaction that followed. Even when the housewives shifted their attention to other topics, there was an unmistakable sense that everyone was waiting to see who would make the next move. For Carmela Garcia, stepping into an established cast was never going to be easy. Every newcomer faces the challenge of finding their place among personalities who have shared years of friendships, arguments, reconciliations, and unforgettable moments. Yet Carmela appeared determined to write her own story rather than follow a script created by previous seasons. Several cast members quietly observed her confidence, wondering whether it was genuine self-assurance or simply first-season boldness. Reality television has introduced plenty of fearless newcomers over the years, but maintaining that confidence once the pressure builds is another challenge entirely. Meanwhile, Vicki Gunvalson remained true to the outspoken personality fans have watched for years. Her direct communication style has always sparked strong reactions, and this situation proved no different. Rather than pretending everything was fine, Vicki made it clear when she felt her experience and contributions to the franchise deserved recognition. That difference in perspective quickly became the center of discussion within the group. Some housewives believed respect should naturally come with longevity, while others argued that every cast member deserves an equal voice regardless of how long they've been on the show. Those opposing viewpoints created an interesting dynamic because neither side appeared completely right or completely wrong. Instead, viewers were left to decide for themselves whose approach made the most sense. As conversations continued, smaller disagreements began surfacing around unrelated topics. While these moments weren't directly connected to Carmela and Vicki's earlier exchange, the existing tension made every comment feel more significant. Simple jokes were questioned, casual remarks were analyzed, and ordinary conversations suddenly carried unexpected weight. That's often how conflict grows in the Real Housewives universe. Rarely does one major argument stand alone. Instead, unresolved emotions quietly influence future interactions until another disagreement brings everything back to the surface. Fans watching at home quickly picked up on those subtle changes. Social media discussions became filled with theories about hidden alliances and predictions about which friendships might survive the season. Some viewers admired Carmela for refusing to be intimidated by one of the franchise's most recognizable names. They felt she represented a fresh perspective and appreciated her willingness to challenge long-standing expectations within the group. Others sided with Vicki, believing experience should earn a certain level of acknowledgement. After spending years helping define the series, they argued that recognizing her history wasn't about superiority, it was simply about appreciating the show's legacy. Interestingly, the premiere didn't present either woman as completely inflexible. Both appeared confident in their opinions, but neither completely closed the door on future conversations. That leaves plenty of room for their relationship to evolve as the season progresses. Another fascinating element is how the rest of the cast may influence the situation. In the Real Housewives of Orange County, conflicts rarely remain between just two people. Friends often become involved, opinions are shared behind closed doors, and misunderstandings spread faster than anyone expects. If one housewife chooses to defend Carmela while another supports Vicki, the disagreement could easily expand into a much larger group conflict. Longtime Bravo fans know that shifting alliances are one of the franchise's defining characteristics. Today's closest friends can become tomorrow's biggest rivals, while former enemies sometimes discover unexpected common ground. That unpredictability is exactly what keeps audiences invested year after year. Another question viewers are asking is whether first impressions will ultimately define Carmela's journey on the show. New housewives are often judged heavily during their debut episodes, but those early opinions don't always last. Some newcomers who initially faced criticism eventually became fan favorites after revealing different sides of their personalities. Others who received enthusiastic welcomes later found themselves at the center of controversy. Only time will reveal which path Carmela ultimately follows. For Vicki, returning to familiar territory also brings unique expectations. Fans already know her personality, her communication style, and her willingness to speak her mind. That history means every interaction is viewed through the lens of years of memorable television moments. Whether that experience helps her navigate new relationships, or creates additional challenges, remains to be seen. One thing is already certain: viewers are paying close attention. The premiere succeeded in creating conversation without revealing how every storyline will unfold. Instead of providing immediate answers, it introduced questions that will likely shape the weeks ahead. Can Carmela and Vicki eventually develop mutual respect despite their different perspectives? Will other housewives unintentionally make the disagreement even more complicated? Or will this early tension gradually fade as new conflicts emerge throughout the season? Those questions are now driving anticipation for the next episode. As the group spent more time together, it became increasingly clear that the first disagreement had changed the atmosphere. Conversations that might have once been casual now carried extra meaning, with every cast member paying close attention to facial expressions, body language, and even the smallest comments. In a group where trust is constantly tested, first impressions can be difficult to overcome. Carmela Garcia seemed determined not to let outside opinions shape her decisions. Rather than seeking approval from every veteran in the room, she focused on presenting herself honestly. That approach impressed some of the women, who admired her confidence and willingness to stand by her beliefs even when the pressure increased. Vicki Gunvalson, however, has spent years navigating the ups and downs of reality television. She understands that every conversation can become a major storyline, and she has never been afraid to defend her perspective. Her experience allows her to recognize when tensions are building, but it also means she's unlikely to stay silent if she feels misunderstood. As word of the premiere spread, fans across social media began sharing wildly different reactions. Some viewers argued that a fresh face like Carmela was exactly what the franchise needed to keep things exciting. Others felt that challenging one of the show's best-known personalities so early was a risky strategy that could create unnecessary friction. The discussion quickly moved beyond a single scene. Instead, fans started debating what respect should look like in a long-running reality series. Should newcomers automatically acknowledge the cast members who helped establish the franchise, or should everyone begin on equal footing regardless of their history? That question doesn't have a simple answer, which is one reason the episode generated so much conversation. Another interesting aspect of the premiere was how the other housewives responded. Some chose to listen rather than take sides, carefully observing the situation before offering their opinions. Others appeared surprised by how quickly the tension developed, especially during what should have been an opportunity for everyone to get acquainted. These reactions may prove important as the season continues. In the Real Housewives world, friendships often influence how conflicts evolve. A disagreement between two people can easily become a disagreement involving the entire group once alliances begin to form. Viewers are already speculating about which relationships will grow stronger and which ones may struggle under the weight of ongoing drama. While it's still early in the season, the premiere offered enough hints to suggest that several unexpected partnerships could emerge. At the same time, both Carmela and Vicki have something to prove. Carmela is introducing herself to longtime Bravo viewers who know little about her, while Vicki continues to remind audiences why she remains one of the franchise's most recognizable figures. That combination creates an interesting balance between fresh energy and established history. It's also worth remembering that premiere episodes often emphasize conflict to set the stage for future developments. Relationships that begin with disagreement sometimes improve dramatically as cast members spend more time together and better understand each other's personalities. Likewise, seemingly minor issues can unexpectedly become major storylines if communication breaks down. Because of that, fans should be careful not to assume the entire season has already been written after a single episode. Reality television is known for surprising twists, changing loyalties, and emotional conversations that completely reshape earlier assumptions. For now, one thing is certain. The season 20 premiere succeeded in giving audiences something to talk about. Whether viewers support Carmela's independent approach or appreciate Vicki's perspective as a longtime housewife, the discussion has helped build anticipation for what's coming next. With more episodes still ahead, everyone will be watching closely to see whether this early tension leads to understanding, stronger respect, or an even deeper divide. Whatever happens, the premiere has ensured that the evolving relationship between Carmela Garcia and Vicki Gunvalson will remain one of the season's most closely watched storylines. As the season continues, the pressure inside the group only becomes more noticeable. Every dinner, party, and cast gathering offers another opportunity for misunderstandings to grow, or for old tensions to finally be resolved. After the events of the premiere, many viewers are wondering whether Carmela Garcia and Vicki Gunvalson can eventually find common ground or if their different personalities will continue to keep them at odds. One thing that stands out is how differently the two women approach conflict. Carmela appears comfortable speaking her mind, even if her opinion isn't the most popular in the room. Rather than avoiding difficult conversations, she seems willing to address issues directly. That straightforward attitude may earn her respect from some cast members, but it can also create friction with people who expect a different approach. Vicki, on the other hand, has spent years dealing with public disagreements on reality television. She understands how quickly situations can escalate once emotions become involved. Because of that experience, she often responds with confidence, refusing to back away from conversations that she believes are important. As other housewives continue interacting with both women, they may find themselves caught in the middle. Some may try to encourage peace, while others could unintentionally make matters more complicated by repeating comments or offering opinions behind the scenes. In this franchise, even well-meaning advice can sometimes lead to bigger misunderstandings. Fans have also noticed that every cast member brings a unique perspective into the group. Different backgrounds, friendships, and personalities naturally lead to different expectations. What feels respectful to one person may seem unnecessary to someone else, and those differences often become the foundation for memorable reality TV moments. Online discussions remain just as active as the conversations happening on screen. Many viewers are sharing their predictions about how the season will unfold. Some believe the early tension will eventually fade as the cast spends more time together, while others expect the disagreements to grow into one of the biggest storylines of the year. Another reason audiences are paying close attention is that first seasons can define a new housewife's reputation. Every decision, every conversation, and every reaction contributes to how viewers perceive a newcomer. Carmela knows that millions of fans are watching, and each episode gives her another opportunity to show more of her personality. For Vicki, every appearance also carries significance. Longtime viewers already have strong opinions about her, and each new episode adds another chapter to a reality television career that has spanned many years. Whether fans agree with her or not, she continues to generate discussion whenever she joins the conversation. As the episodes move forward, viewers should expect shifting dynamics rather than simple resolutions. Friendships may strengthen, unexpected alliances could emerge, and disagreements may take surprising turns. That's one of the reasons The Real Housewives of Orange County has remained popular for so long. It constantly evolves as relationships change. Although the premiere introduced plenty of tension, it also opened the door for personal growth. Sometimes the strongest rivalries eventually become respectful friendships after both sides gain a better understanding of each other's viewpoints. Whether that happens here remains to be seen, but the possibility keeps audiences invested.